Hi everyone, it's Jill Lancet, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. I've got heaps to tell you. Oh, look what I just did with my coffee. I've got a lot of things to tell you today. Now, first of all, our celebration promotion is still running. It runs to the 31st of August. And what this does basically is if you purchase anything and your order comes to $90, that's before shipping, then you are entitled to add onto your order some $90 rewards. Now there are $90 ones and there are $180 ones. So if you spend $180, you can choose one of these free $180 rewards, or you can choose two of the $90 rewards. So it's totally up to you. But currently, my favourite things in this catalogue are gone. Now these are only while stocks last, and they're gone. These beautiful little pool party and soft seafoam cards and envelopes. I've been featuring these lately, so you will have already seen them, but can't get those anymore. But Stampin' Up have added some other things to it, so I'll just go through and show you what you can get. So sorry, that is a car. That's how loud that is. So you've got the hippo stamps, you've got the hippo dies. Now they're both $90 rewards. You've then got this beautiful, it's called Rings of Love. This beautiful paper here, it's another $90 reward. There's heaps of little examples there. As I said, these are sold out. This one is still available. I've actually got that one at the moment. Hang on. Hold your horses, honey. I have it right here. It's a really lovely, sketchy little images, and I'll be making some with those shortly. So stay tuned for that. Then you have this beautiful silver and gold paper. Now they're what size are they? They're 6 by 6, and you get 24 sheets, and they're double-sided. Yeah, they're double-sided, I believe. Here's another. This is a $180 reward. It's a stamp set. You've got this wonderful die set, and it coordinates with a stamp set that's in the annual catalogue. So you can go and have a look at that one. It's called Trees for Sale. This really lovely one, I've also been featuring this in my videos lately. You get both. You get the stamp set and the beautiful papers. They're very vintagey. They remind me of very vintage papers. So that's another $180 reward. But Stampin' Up added some more items. So as of now, as of the 2nd of August, you can choose from the yellow $90 rewards or the $180 rewards. Now, I'm going to hold that there for a second, because you have to use these item numbers, not the ones that are in the catalogue. These are items that are in the annual catalogue, but you must use these numbers, these item numbers here. Now, when you put that item number in, it will give it to you free. If you put the other one in, it will charge you. So again, it's $90 for all these ones with the yellow, and the green ones here are $180 spend. Now, there's 1, 2, 3 embossing folders. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 dies. And then you've got this beautiful paper, which is the silver foil pack, and the brushed metallic paper, and these craft gift boxes. So have a look at those in the catalogue. I'll just leave that there for a second. I hope it's in shot. And enlarge it if you want to get the item numbers. Go to my website if you want to have a look at those as well. Now, also during Celebration, we've got a joining offer, and it's this beautiful organiser. You get all these items in it, plus a little stamp set to personalise it yourself. Okay, so I think I've covered everything else. These are just my addresses. If you need them, you can take a screenshot of those as well. If you go to Facebook, just type in Jill Lancet Meraki Maven, one word. The same with YouTube, the same with Pinterest. But on my Instagram, it is just Instagram at Jill Lancet. So useful addresses in case you need them. So this is the current MIDI catalogue. We're not using anything out of this tonight, I don't think. But you can request a catalogue if you go to my website. Alternatively, you can look at it online. If you want to save the planet, excuse me, you can look them online. So here is my website. Go there, excuse me, and you can actually just click straight through to my Facebook, YouTube, Instagram and Pinterest. Those little icons are up in this corner up here. You can actually see these catalogues. So I've been playing around with a technique today, and I've actually made 2 cards, but I want to show you how I did it. It's an oldie but a goodie, if you know what I mean. Now, please bear with me today. I'm sorry. I don't have COVID. I just have an ordinary, horrible, nasty cough and cold. So I've got my coffee, and just bear with me one sec. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to do that probably all the way through this so I can talk to you. Now, I have made some other cards, and I'll show you those later. But these are the items that we're going to use today. I have some music on. I hope that's not too distracting. The kids are running around in next door. So, yeah. And here is my current host code. I finally got my act together. This is current until the 31st of August. And it's this series of letters and numbers, and that is for orders under $250. So today I'm going to show you a technique. Now, this is more so about this particular technique than the products I've used, because I've used several different products. But I just wanted you to learn how to do this technique. Now, you will need one of these, and it is an embossing stylus. Now, you can get them anywhere, in the craft shops, anywhere. I've got so many. In fact, what made me think to do this technique was my little granddaughter was in here on Thursday, and she pulled every single one of these that I own out to play with. So I thought, oh, haven't used those for a long time. We might use those. So I've used the beautiful hand-penned petals, and we're using this stamp set here and this little greeting here, Feel Better Friend. And I might show you a thing or two that you didn't know before. We're going to use the dies and the stamps. Yeah, and I just want to show you a couple of little techniques along the way. So the items that we're going to use are the stamps and the dies for the hand penned. I have got the numbers and the page numbers there. We're using the beautiful Tea Boutique cards and envelopes, because they're already made. They're already here. Why not take advantage of them? They're lovely. So they're on page 12, and that is the item number there. We're also, excuse me, we're also going to use some of the in colour cardstock. It's the 2022 to 2024 cardstock. Now, you can buy an assortment pack that gives you, I think it's about 4 or 5 pages. I think it's 4 of each colour in that group. So let me see, what page was it? 126. I just better make sure, because I think I said this last time. 126. Excuse me. Yep, it's 20 sheets, and you get 4 of each of the 5 new in colours. So that's a good way to use them up. They're good for 2 years. In 2 years they will be retired. We're also going to use the 20, the in colours, the 2022 to 24 designer series papers, and they are on page 135. Gosh, I hope my voice lasts. And there they are. So you get 40 sheets there, 6 by 6, and they are in the in colour, the new in colour colours. There's 4 different designs. They're double-sided, so you get each design on either side. So I'm using the Starry Sky, which is the darker blue, and I'm using the Orchid Oasis, which is the mauvey colour, and they pair beautifully. If you can see that there, they pair beautifully. So, and we're going to use a scrap of vellum. Now, the vellum I thought was a bit tricky to find in the catalogue. It's on page 140, and it's with these specialty papers like the shimmery white, the window sheets, the fluid watercolour paper. So it's 140, and there it is there. They're A4 sheets, you get 20. And they're quite sturdy. Excuse me. I think I have used them. I think I used it not so long ago, and it's not a flimsy paper. It's quite substantial, but I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that today. So here's my little notepad that I spent 10 minutes looking for just beforehand and finally found it. So I'll leave that there for a second so you can just have a look at it. I'll have a little sip of coffee so that I can speak. And there you go. So now the first thing we need to do is on our scrap of vellum, we're going to use these embossing buddy. Now Stampin' Up are carrying this again. And there is one collection in the book, in the new catalogue. Oh, excuse me. And I can't for the life of me think which one it is. Let me see if I can find it in bundles. It comes in a bundle with one of the one of these beautiful collections. See if I can find which one it is. Or it might even be in the... look, you'll find it. You can search for Embossing Buddy. Now, what's in there is kind of like powder. Probably... Hopefully you can see that. It's just like a powder. And what it does is, first of all, your fingerprints leave marks, and the embossing powder will stick. So we don't want that to happen. We only want it to stick where we're going to stamp. And we're going to stamp with the Starry Sky. And I think you'll be surprised that we can actually emboss. So this comes under the heading of, did you know you could do this? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rub this all over with my anti-static little buddy. I've got my Pearson stamping mat because we're using, now I can't remember which side I did it. Yep, that side. Yeah, because we're using a photopolymer stamp, it's good to have your stamping mat underneath. So we're going to open the Starry Sky. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous dark blue. And I'm going to have my clear embossing powder ready. I put them in these containers just so they're easy to get at. Now, Because the vellum is kind of like not as porous as normal paper, you can stamp using your ordinary stamp pads onto the vellum and then clear emboss them. That's the bit that comes under the heading of did you know? So we'll just ink this up and I'll show you exactly how to do it. So that looks like it's nice and inked. I'll just pop that over there. And straight down and straight up. Now the vellum might make this a little bit slippery, so just be really aware not to move the stamp around. So give it a couple of seconds to connect, and straight up. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? So this is where I like to get my white embossing powder everywhere. Now you can see it's still wet, and you'll see that the embossing powder has stuck to that. So it's gone kind of frosty. So that means the embossing powder is well and truly stuck on there. So now I've made a mess. I'm just gonna, because I put a new thing down. Now it's got all embossing powder all over it. So I'm going to let my heat gun warm up for a second, and then you'll see how you can use your ordinary ink pads with your clear embossing powder, and you don't need every single colour embossing powder. You just need clear, as long as you're doing it on vellum. If you're very quickly, you might be able to do it on paper. But you'll just see how beautifully this embosses in a second. Look at that. Now that alone is quite lovely. But the technique we're going to use today is going to take it one step further. Oh, that bit there doesn't look like it's done. There we go. Now you can see it's lovely, lovely and shiny. Okay, so I'll give that a second to clear, to cool down. And I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to use this. Oh, first we've got to cut it out. Oh, sorry, first we've got to cut it out. Yeah, sorry, I forgot that. I'm sick, okay? I'm using that as an excuse. I'm sick. So I've got my little Stampin' cut and emboss machine, but if you've seen my videos, you know that that's too many words for me. So I just call it my Bertha. So I'm going to just chop that down a bit so I can fit it into my little mini Bertha. And it fits beautifully. And here is, I always put some of this repositional tape. So it's easy to line these up, especially now that we've got it embossed, because you can very clearly see where it goes. So I hope that's in camera. Okay, that looks good to me. I'm just going to put my tape on it, just so it doesn't move around, and cut it out. And it's really easy to cut with this. This is the little mini one. Oops, she says. It folds up like this. This is the one I take to classes because it's very light. It's very portable. I just keep it up on my shelf there so that I've got it when I need it. And so we've cut that out now. I'll just pop them over there. And this is the technique. Okay, so I've turned it over and I'm using my Stampin' Pierce mat because I need that foamy surface underneath. Sorry if I bumped that then. So this particular one has a fatter end, a fatter ball, and a skinnier ball. This one's a fairly open design, so I probably would only need this one for the stems. Now I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'll start with the larger end, and we're actually just going to be stretching this vellum, and you'll see what happens to it when we do that. So I'll start with the this big leaf here. So I'm just going around the inside of the leaf, and you can see it's sort of turning this opaque white colour. Now I'll show you what that looks like on the other side. So I'm just, it's almost like colouring in, but there's nothing. It's just this tool that's creating this. So I kind of went around the inside, the outline of the leaf, and now you can see the difference between this one and the others. It's white. It's gone white, and it's kind of shaped it. So don't press too hard, because you will actually go through this. You will tear it if you go too hard. So it's best to start off light, understand the pressure that's required, and it doesn't take very long, and up against a darkish background you'll see what a difference this makes. So I'm doing both those big leaves there. Do this leaf here, and I think it's it is also relaxing. It's quite relaxing. You end up with this different look. It's different to probably anything else you've done, and you can see through it, so you know where you're going. So that's a good thing about it. So if you apply a sort of a certain amount of pressure, you'll see it going white straight away. Now with this flower, I just want to do the petals. Now I'm going to leave the inside centre part of that for a second and just do the petals, because I'll show you what I'm going to do. And if you go round and round and round, I mean, it does leave a certain pattern on the other side. So just continue to check it as you're going, because you can go back over it. If you don't like the look of it, you can just go and make it a little bit deeper. I'm just going to continue round. And I have been quite sick this week. I've done about 4 COVID tests this week. Sunday I woke up with a blocked salivary gland. Didn't even know there was such a thing. So the side of my jaw was quite swollen and sore. Took myself off to the hospital, and the remedy, believe it or not, is to suck on some lime, fresh lime, and just hold the juice in your mouth, and it creates so much saliva that it actually helps to clear the blockage. So that was quite, you know, I learned something new on Sunday. Then Monday I had my little granddaughter, and she was just a little snot pot. So I could probably bet money that she's given it to me. And then on Thursday, because she's a little snot pot, she couldn't go to kindy. So Uma had to mind her again. Not that I mind, I love her to bits, but yeah, she was even snottier on Thursday. So yeah, no prizes for guessing where I acquired this. But you know, what can you do? So yeah, I'm just continuing around. Now you've seen I've just torn that, but it probably won't make any difference on the other side. Oh, you can see it a little bit, but yeah, you've just got to be really careful. So you want to stretch it rather than tear it. I got a little bit enthusiastic talking about my runny nose, I think. And then Friday, yesterday, which was Friday the 5th of August, it was my sister's birthday, but I actually went out with my friends for lunch for my birthday, which is in June. That was the earliest we could get together this year because of COVID, and one of my lovely friends had to have a knee replacement, and you know, sort of things happen. And so yes, on the 5th of August I went out to celebrate my June birthday. So there you go. Okay, so that's all done. Now I want to do the stems, and you'll notice I've turned it over to this very skinny little one, and I'm just going along where I can see it. I can see it, so yeah, not much of an issue there. Okay, now we've got this, and it looks quite curled up, but doesn't it look great? Like when you put it on the background, it looks really quite different. So I think that's a really lovely technique. Didn't take very long. Now with this, we're putting it on this one, and I want to stamp a greeting in the starry sky again. So I don't think I've stamped this greeting, so I'll just get some scrap paper and have a little go, just to make sure it stamps perfectly. Oh, that's a really nice fine font. So what I want to do is I want to stamp that kind of down in this corner. So we'll do that. So down in this corner somewhere like that. Hang on while I just check it out and hold my breath while I stamp that down. Now hold that down for just a couple of seconds for the ink to soak in. Beautiful. Now if that wasn't straight, turn it over, you've got another side. Okay, so we've got that now. I'm going to put that away so I don't lean into it, because yeah, that happens around here. So yeah, your Stampin' Pierce mat is really, really good. It also, sometimes you can do stamping, like you want to make a hole in something, you can put it on here and it's not going to destroy your desk or ruin the tip of your take your pick tool. So very handy to have that item, and I don't know why it took me so long to get one. Now you can't see it, but there is absolutely embossing powder everywhere, and that's quite annoyed me. It feels like sand. Okay, so we've got this piece. Oh no, I just tipped more embossing powder. We've got this piece. Now this piece was 10 centimetres by 7 centimetres. This piece is 11.3 centimetres by 8.3. And they might sound like odd measurements, like not normal measurements, but that's only because I wanted them to fit on the beautiful little pre-made cards. Now look how lovely that looks, if I do say so myself. So this is how we're going to assemble this thing, okay? Now I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this. It's all curly, it's all buckled, and that's what I was going to tell you. When I left this part of the flower here, so I'm going to turn it over to the front, and I'm going to just gently press that down. It just kind of makes the petals look like they're going inwards a bit. You probably can't even see that on there, but anyway, I can. So we've got that. Now to put this on here, I'm going to put some strategic, tiny little, where are they? Where are they? The little ones. Here they are. Some tiny little dimensionals. Oh, what's wrong with my head today? Okay, so I've got my take your pick. Now, you know, you're probably going to see them because they're white, but if we put them in areas where it's quite white, I'm sure you probably won't even notice them. So I've got two there. So I'm going to put one behind our flower there. I'm going to put one possibly there. And if you look on the other side, you can kind of see them, but I think a blind man would like to see that. Now, we're only going to need a couple just to sort of hold it down. So that's kind of, looks right. That looks about right. And then I'm going to put a bit of liquid glue behind this bit here. Now, normally that's a bit of a no-no with vellum, but excuse me, I'm so sorry. I'm just going to put a couple of little spots, and you're not even going to see them. I'm going to kind of try and put them behind the stamping, so you won't see them. And that will just hold the flower down a little bit. Did I just put my finger in it? Yes, I did. Oh, I'm having one of those days today. I think because my nose is blocked, my brain is blocked. Anyway, take your pick, get these little pesky things off. Okay. And then I'm going to put that on the best I can, just like that. Now the Stampin' dimensionals will hold the bits that we've put, and if we hold these glued bits down for a minute to connect, they will also hold down. But I'm actually going to put some of the beautiful baker's twine, if I can find what I did with that, on there as well. So yeah, it's not too bad. It's just, if you didn't know that was a Stampin' dimensional, you probably would never know. Now, I was going to use the dark one, yep. And I'm just going to wrap that around. I might wrap it around a couple of times, actually. And maybe have the bow coming down. Let me see. Have the bow coming over this side, I think. Might put it on a jaunty angle. How's that? Okay. Scissors. Right. So, do a bow. And this is where you really do need to have 12 fingers or 2 hands or something. Okay. And then I'm just going to tie a bow. Okay. Oops. It doesn't want to cooperate. Go back in there. Go back in there. Right. Okay. It's quite cool here today. As I said, it's Saturday. Gosh, I don't even know what day it is. But it was a beautiful day earlier. There was lovely sun out. And I did actually sit outside for a little while, so... What is going on with this bow? Right. Gosh, that took an arm and a leg. I just want a little one. There we go. That was extremely fiddly. Okay, that'll do. I'll chop that bit off there for a sec. Now, I think I want to put that up on dimensionals as well. So I'll use the bigger ones. And just put one in each corner and a couple in the middle, just so it doesn't sag. Yeah, I probably do go overboard with these, but I like to make sure it's supported, so there we go. Take these off. And I want to put it at an angle. So because this bow is kind of at a jaunty angle, I might try and make that straight, if you know what I mean. That looks okay. That looks okay. And I'm just going to glue it straight down onto the card base. And then we can put some embellishments on it if required. Now let's just see how it's going to go. So I'm looking to line up the darker, this one, the darker one. Now I've made 3 of these types of cards, and as I said, it's about the technique more so than anything else. That looks fairly straight to me. So I can put some embellishments on, and these are so generic and so go with everything. So I might just try and maybe cover up or disguise the what do you call those things? Stampin' dimensionals. So it doesn't even look like there's something there. So we might even just put one there. Generally speaking, in a triangle, and I might even put one down here near the greeting. So that technique is it's embossing on vellum. Now it's very 3D. I don't know if you can see that, but it's very 3D. In case you didn't know, you can actually, on vellum at least, heat emboss your colours. So there's that one with the beautiful envelope that goes with it. And that's a lovely little get well card, I think. So I'll just leave that one there. Here's another one that I did. Here's one I prepared earlier. Very striking, black, red and white. I used the Blessings of Homes flowers on that one. It's considerably smaller areas, so it was a little trickier to do, but not impossible. And just some of that beautiful black and white designer series paper, some white baker's twine, and again the iridescent gems. They just go with everything. They do go with everything. And the third one, I don't use enough very vanilla. And so I'm trying to make it my mission to sort of incorporate some very vanilla in. So this time I've embossed with the gingham embossing folder some crumb cake. This is soft suede cardstock. I stamped this exactly the same as that. I used soft suede ink and I embossed it in the clear. This one I embossed it just in vellum and then white embossing powder. But you can see I don't have soft suede or Starry Sky embossing powder, but I can create it. I just coloured the centre of these. There's the dimensionals are behind those. And I didn't put any embellishments on this one. It was quite plain, and some of their gorgeous linen twine. So there are the three. They're very, very different in as far as the colour combinations go, but they're the same. They used this embossing vellum technique, and it can create quite a lot of dimension. This one's quite flat. This is the first one I did, and it doesn't seem to have as much dimension as these other two do. But anyway, I hope you give that a go. I'd love to see if you make any. You can put them up on my Facebook page in the comments if you like. I will be putting this, I possibly will be putting the stills of these cards up so that you can have a look at them in greater detail. But anyway, thank you so much for your time. I know everybody's busy. I'm glad I got through this without sneezing all over everybody or coughing hysterically. But that's the way of the world at the moment. So thank you so much, and I'll see you all on the next video. Bye.